What's up, guys? Neil Orfield here to talk a little Sorare MLB for the slate starting today. And I'm just going to talk some strategy in general about Sorare MLB. While you're coming, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification button so you can get alerts when our shows go live. Sorare MLB is a collection of digital trading cards and an NFT-based free-to-play baseball game. I'll show you how it works. But first, I'm going to start showing you with my new approach to Sorare. Approach has changed a little bit. I think I'm leaning towards, so I'm playing these limited contests where I can get new cards whenever I want. I'm typically going to, I think, just focus on having a few aces at all times, a few pitching aces cards. And then on top of those aces, I think I'm just going to be rotating through bats, is going to be my general approach to Sorare based on where the bats are playing, teams are playing against, etc. Because I think unlike NBA, matchups make such a huge difference in Sorare. And like over the period of a given game week, teams might be facing just one team because they play in series. Whereas NBA, one NBA team is going to be playing against multiple other teams. You can't focus as much on the matchups. I really think that in Sorare MLB, you can focus more on the matchups in these games that are happening 3 or 4 games at a time. So the first thing that I'm doing these days when I'm going to set a lineup or figure out who I'm going to want to play in a given game week is I'm going to go to this information in the contest I'm playing. So I'm limited pro, typically the one that I like to focus on. There are real cash prizes. You can win rare cards, a lot of cool prizes here. Limited all-star kind of cool too. You can win 470. There'll be 470 limited cards awarded, but I like the idea of being able to win real cash prizes and rare cards. So I'm going to click on this information button. And the first thing I'm going to look at is the games tab here, just to get an idea of the landscape of the slate, which teams are playing which other teams. First thing you notice, of course, is that the Braves and Mets are playing a doubleheader right away. Both of those teams have multiple games on the slate. Yeah, we've got the Braves here again, Mets tomorrow. So they, I believe, have the most games on the slate. I'll double check that. But yeah, they seem to have a game every day, including a doubleheader today. So hard to have more than that, than what the Mets have here and the Braves. Yeah, they both have 5 games during this period. We'll double check that, but you can see that there's a lot of games there. However, not the best matchups, going up against some strong pitchers there. So, you can factor in that batters can get negative points. And so you get negative points for caught stealing. You also get negative points for strikeouts. So I'm a little bit hesitant to focus on those, even though they have more games, because, man, when you're facing Spencer Strider, you're not setting yourself up for success. So a little bit hesitant to go there. The other place I'm looking is we got another Coors slate here. We've got the Brewers in Coors Field. And this is something that I like to focus on because they have a great matchup, the Brewers here, because they're in Coors Field. But also the cards aren't all that expensive to get Brewers bats, because they're not usually playing in Coors Field. So just, you're kind of like just using them for a specific slate. So you can get relatively inexpensive bats. So rather than paying up for superstars for bats, I'm kind of inclined to just buy some of these Brewers cards. And I'll show you how I can do that if you go to manager sales. And this is how I buy. You can also, of course, buy from auction. And then I'm just going to go to click limited, and you can focus in on specific teams. So here I'm just going to look at Brewers bats, choose my Brewers position. I'm just going to choose all of the batters. And now you can see I'm sorted by highest average score. You can really narrow down on which Brewers bats you want to focus on. Obviously, Christian Yelich looks like an interesting buyer, $13, and in a series that's in Coors Field, he's going to be one of the better projected players. Of course, they don't play today, so that's kind of a knock against the Brewers. They only have 3 games on this slate, so it is a knock against them that they only have 3 games, but all 3 games are in Coors. So I think that they're a team that you can, buy in on cheap. $13 for this Christian Yelich, $17 for Rowdy Tellez, McCutcheon, $7. Like all these, Hunter Renfroe, $17. Everybody looks like they are relatively reasonably priced relative to, like, if you look at just the superstars. So here, of all, it's going to cost you a lot more to get a Shohei Ohtani. And of course, over the course of the season, more often you're going to want to be able to use the Ohtani card. But as long as the Brewers are in Coors Field, that's as good of a spot as anybody can be in. And you can find different matchups where a team is facing a bunch of bad pitchers in a batter's park. I think you can always find these kind of matchups to exploit. So I think that's going to be my approach. Rather than just buying the superstars like an Ohtani, Trout, etc., I'm going to focus on the bats who are just in good spots and maybe rotate through them a little bit. So generally, that's gonna be my approach this week. I think it's gonna be the Brewers for me. I'll look a little bit closer. Gonna set this lineup during the MLB strategy show, but I'll show you how that works too, real quick. I'll go. So I'm going to go limited pro, register, and these are the positions you need to fill. So starting with a starting pitcher, they tell you who is projected to start. So probable starters that I have of the four pitchers, I have Shane McClanahan, Spencer Strider. I'm going to use the Shane McClanahan in my starting pitcher spot, and then I can use the Strider in the relief pitcher spot. So that's kind of a cheat code here, being able to start a starting Spencer Strider in the relief pitcher spot. And then from there, I'm kind of looking at, all right, so now I need to choose a quarter infielder who has the most games. Looks like 3 is the most games of the players that I have here. So actually, the Brewers are in a fine spot relative to other teams. I'm probably most inclined to go to Freddie Freeman of this group. And then same thing, a lot of teams with 3 games. You can see exactly how many games they have. They list them here. I'll go with Max Muncy since I already took Freddie Freeman. I kind of like to stack a little bit. Now I get to choose an outfielder. Once again, I'll go with Mookie Betts. Oh, I do have that Christian Yelich. I forgot that I had purchased that, so I can play that. Maybe I'll complete the stack here with James Outman. Got my full Dodgers stack, and then I'll play a one-off Christian Yelich just because Christian Yelich in Coors Field, that's a great spot. So easy enough to make a lineup here. And I think this is what I'm going to go. I'm trying to stack. I'm generally trying to play bats in good environments like the Brewers here. You could do a full Brewers stack here. Maybe I'll go back and think about doing that. But anyway, this is going to be my general approach. I'm going to hold on to, of course, this relief pitcher Spencer Strider, very valuable. But in general, just having a few stud pitchers, a few good relievers, and then kind of rotating through the bats, I think is going to be my general approach to Sorare MLB. Anyway, hope you can find some success in Sorare MLB using a similar strategy. Good luck.